Let's delve quickly into that Panthers-Broncos game. 38-12, Thursday night. Panthers were dominant. Cleary setting up 3 tries. The centre pairing for the Panthers. Woo-wee. Isaac Tungo and Taylor May.
What about Isaac Tungo at the moment? So not only does he get a nice payday, then his mate on the other edge, he gets a payday. He probably would have known leading into the game too that cha-ching, the money's flowing.
What did Taylor May end up getting?
I'm not too sure. It hasn't been reported on yet. I don't believe, Gibbo.
No.
Have you heard any figures yet?
No, you'd think it's around 500,000, somewhere around that mark.
Yeah,
Have to be more, surely, if they went
price.
750 for Tungo.
Well, Taylor May did spend a whole year out,
Yeah.
had his issues off the field, but I know they wanted to lock him up, and for good reason. Their centre 3/4 lines are the most informed in the comp, would you say? Melbourne versus Melbourne, maybe.
Melbourne have
Nick
been
Meaney,
decent.
Ruben Smith.
Melbourne have been decent. What are the two of the teams that are under? Oh, Jesse Ramian and Sifat Talakai have been really good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Who are the other teams that were undefeated? Oh, Matty, mate, we mentioned him before. I know it's who's the left centre for? I'm having a blank now on
For
Canberra
Raiders.
Yeah,
Timico. Hopewadi played there last
and
night.
Chris. That's
yeah.
why I'm forgetting. Yeah, Timico's been outstanding. But let's get back to to the game. Taylor May and Isaac Tungo specifically. I think it's a great move to lock them up.
To lock them up.
Both,
yeah.
because they're only going to get better. Like sometimes when you look at the price tags, and you sort of balk at certain price tags, specifically certain positions, but they've been in the system their entire careers.
Yep.
They've watched them grow. They've also watched Penrith have watched players they have developed and gone and just signed these massive deals elsewhere. So maybe they've learnt, all right, we might have to pay them a little bit overs earlier, but it'll pay it back. And Isaac Tungo's contract already looks like unders based off what he's done in the last couple of weeks since signing.
While we're talking Taylor May, let's talk head clash. Reece Walsh, Taylor May. Reece Walsh now fractures in his face. Looks like 4 to 6 weeks potentially. Huge loss for the Broncos.
Huge.
Broncos face Cowboys next week, Storm the week after. With no Walsh, Reynolds or Haas, I can see them being 1-4 from their first 5 games.
Yeah, really tough for the Broncos. What about specifically on the head clash? How did you see it? He was penalised. It's been quite divided. You've got Penrith fans who are going to lean one way, Broncos fans.
Yep.
But if you try to get a gauge on it as the neutral, sometimes we get it on the text lines.
Well, I'm neutral, and I thought Taylor May. So the freeze frame footage, May off the ground, tucked, duty of care, which the referee said. I believe he hasn't taken precaution with how he's hit Reece Walsh there. He's come in hard and fast, tucked the arm off the ground, so I thought it was a penalty. But when you watch it at full speed, Reece Walsh, let's for instance say he's travelling at 30 k's an hour, Taylor May's flying in at 30 k's an hour himself. It happens in an instant. So I'm happy with the result. Penalty, no 10 in the bin, no suspension. I think we just move on.
I'm with you. Judging from the way that they've ruled other clashes, specifically
The Finucane
hit on... Did he end up getting suspended for that?
Yeah, he did.
A couple of weeks. I think he might have got 4, didn't he?
Yeah. I disagreed with that.
I understand.
With that. I understand there's a duty of care, and I can understand a penalty being sufficient just because it's lazy, but it's also just rugby league contact. That happens. That's the nature of our game. Sometimes body parts are going to get themselves in the weirdest positions or confrontational positions and some clashes, and that's just the nature of the game. We play a physical game, and that's sometimes what comes with it. So penalty was sufficient. I didn't believe he deserved to be binned. I don't believe he deserves to be sin-binned, and I also believe that of Dale Finucane when it happened to his clash on Stephen Crichton.
Boys, with Reece Walsh out for 4 to 6 weeks, who do you see coming in? Tristan Saylor. So is he going to play fullback?
Yep.
Or if Reynolds is not there, would you put him in the halves? Selwyn Cobbo played a bit of fullback on Thursday night. They've got at least the Broncos backline. All their players have played different positions throughout their career. So
I think you don't upset the apple cart too much. Leave Selwyn at centre, put Tristan at fullback, and then the backline's got a bit more stability. Just on Reece Walsh, women around Australia, and some men, devastating for Reece Walsh to have a big scar now straight across the face.
Yeah. Chick stick scars though, Missile. He now goes from a 10 out of 10 to what, a 9.2?
Yeah.
He still doesn't lose much. He's still much better looking than us.
What about, yeah, of course. What about chick stick scars, but like if he's in the pure like straight, so he almost had like the straight model type look.
Yeah.
And maybe just pushes him now into more of a rugby league hot.
Now he's a proper rugby league hot.
Yeah.
Like a Cam Murray. Like Cam Murray's always busted. He's a glamour.
Yeah.
But he's always busted up. And you're like, all right, even though he's a good looking, I was going to say rooster, but rabbit. He's always so banged up and
Kalen's never copped a cut to the face, has he, that I can remember?
It's more internal. It's the HIA stick of Kalen. He doesn't get it on the outside, he gets it on the inside. And when I don't
we
make
shouldn't
the
laugh at that.
we
We shouldn't laugh at that.
Kalen knows I love him.
Yeah, but devastating for Reece Walsh. Big cut straight under the eye. But it's a big loss for the Broncos. They're a team, though, that they may go 1-5, but I'd still have them at, say, $4 to win the comp, even if they did.
Oh, they're super dangerous. You're probably going to get better odds this year. Wait, because they're Tristan Sailor will most likely play fullback. That's, answering your question from before. Yeah. Jock Madden, he's been brought up there for a reason, to cover Adam Reynolds if he's out. I thought he did a sound job.
He was fine.
He come up against the Penrith Panthers with their fullback leaving the game and having, again, just similar to Parramatta Eels, he had a back rower playing in centres. Selwyn Cobbo was really good at fullback, but I think he's going to be good no matter where he plays.
Yeah.
But I thought he was actually exceptional. Penrith were putting him under the pump a heap. Some of I remember the first bomb that he took off Nath, and Nath just had it moving everywhere, and he just so casually catches the ball like it was nothing. It dipped on him last minute. He's just he's a rugby league player. Selwyn
Cobbo.
What
I find impressive about Selwyn, but he gets compared a lot to Latrell and GI, who are both awesome. I think Selwyn gets jammed a bit more. You don't see Latrell get absolutely flatlined often, or GI back in his day, but Selwyn does. But he bounces back up from contact and never shies away from it. And it's almost like if you put him in the furnace, he reacts better.
Yeah.
He's not one of those front runner players. It's like he needs to be in the game, copping contact to really grit his teeth and get into the game.
Yeah, because he plays slightly a different role. It's not like obviously Latrell and GI were afraid of the contact.
No, not that they were. Yeah.
No, they got isolated contact.
Yeah.
Whereas Selwyn, he's off the back fence, mate. He because he's a winger. With the other two, they started their career in the centres.
Yeah.
GI might have played a little bit of wing early, but very quickly they moved him in the centres. So a lot of his contact was middle of the field, early ball, double cutout, hit GI, hit Latrell. You do your best work one-on-one with a 6 or a centre. With Selwyn, because he started on the wing, you know how important those tough carries are from wingers. He's often getting it one off the ruck, off a kick return, coming out of the corner, and he just goes straight into him, mate. So he gives them the opportunity to get licked, and sometimes he comes off second best. And so I guarantee you probably could ask Lindsay Smith. It's not easy tackling him. I guarantee he would have some sore shoulders.
All right, Panthers juggernaut rolls on. Broncos, they'll be fine. They'll bounce back. Connor Watson still to come on the show. We'll get him at about 10:40. So Roosters fans, 0457 736 736. Get your questions in now for Connor. We'll ask him the best couple that you send in.